Hi everyone, it's Trudie here from Indigo Grace, and today I wanted to give you the backstory of Indigo Grace and how it came to be and how I've ended up on your computer screen in front of you. I've just been chatting this morning with the lovely Emma Holmes from Rebel and Rockstars about my business and about how I got into card readings and stuff like that, and I wanted to share that with all of you as well. But really give you the whole backstory, just so you can see who I am, what I'm about, and what it is that I want you to get from this page. So, I have two girls. They are 6 and almost 5. And after my two girls were born, I went through a very, very dark period in my life. And I battled with postnatal depression and I battled with anxiety. And they really, really did rule me. They really, really took control of my whole life. And my diet, and I've no shame in saying this now, was antidepressants, Valium, and tea. I didn't like to go outside the door. I didn't like to interact with people. I didn't invite my friends in. I lost a lot of friends. Um, I got married, and my marriage was not one that I should have entered into whatsoever. All the signs were there, all the chances were there to walk away from it, but I was convinced I was doing the right thing because he was the kid's father and blah 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 blah. And yeah, got married anyway, going through this really dark time. And you know, my my lifestyle was not one that anybody would have been envious of, but it wasn't one that a lot of people were aware of. I kept it to myself. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want people to know what I was feeling or the thoughts that I was having, because I felt that there was something wrong with me, that this was my issue, and therefore, I should keep it to myself because nobody needs to hear that. So over time, my mom started to encourage me to come along to a psychic development course. And, I spent my teens and my early 20s thinking my mom was away with fairies, and that wasn't for me whatsoever. Um, I had a slight interest in angel card decks, and, we'd often maybe look at them together, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do by myself or anything like it. Wasn't overtly spiritual and definitely was not overtly religious or anything like it. Very much just, you know, not believing in anything at that time, and more so just doing things out of a little bit of curiosity, I suppose. And she encouraged me and encouraged me and encouraged me, and I eventually went. And I dreaded it, absolutely dreaded it. I remember the first night going, it was on a Tuesday night for 4 Tuesdays of a month, and the first night that I went, I absolutely dreaded walking in there. I didn't want to speak to anybody. I had a friend who was on the course, she hadn't a clue what was going on with me. Um, and I just wanted to keep my head down and not talk about things, or and it became apparent, that during this course people could discover what was going on with me. And I was a bit nervous about that. And I remember thinking, you know what, I probably won't come back next week. But I went, and the first night we did some meditation, and that was the turning point for me. That meditation that we did that night probably saved me from the road of destruction that I was on. Um, what I found in that meditation was 10 minutes of peace. 10 minutes of peace and calm where I could, have no thoughts, have no negative thoughts, have no bad opinion or low opinion of myself. And I could just be. I could just be me and be calm, and it was lovely. Absolutely lovely. Um by the end of the course, week 4, we had gone into angel cards, we'd gone into crystals, auras, psychometry, the four clars, all this wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I was intrigued and fascinated by every single bit of it, and I loved it. I loved it. And you know what? I got things wrong on it. I wasn't like just naturally turned the switch in my brain where automatically I was instantaneously this wonderful, all being, all knowing person. I wasn't. I did get stuff wrong, and I got a lot of stuff right. And it was fascinating to see that I had these abilities that I wasn't even aware of. To give you my background, I've worked in sales, I've worked in hospitality, I've worked in accounts, I've worked in customer care. Um, I never really had a not the norm kind of jobs. So this was a little bit out of my zone of expertise, and it was fascinating to see that I could come in and I could learn and I could do there and then, and it was, yeah, it was eye-opening. By the end of the 4 weeks, I had thrown all my medication in the bin. Now, by the way, if you're listening to me and you're at home and you are on antidepressant medication or you are on Valiums, I am not advocating that you do that. By all means, if you feel like you want to come off them, go and chat to your doctor. But do not just do what I did, because it wasn't probably the best thing to do. But I felt in myself that it was the right thing, so I went for it. I took them on the bin. I called my husband, who was in Spain at the time, and I said, you know what, don't come back. Don't come back. We're not happy. Let's not pretend we're happy. And this isn't working, and I'm done. And that was it. I made these great big steps. Before I started that course, I was financially affected. As I said, I was going through postnatal depression. I was going through anxiety. Didn't want to leave the house, so certainly wasn't working. And my husband was of little or no financial support. So yeah, I was in a position where all of a sudden I was just completely out of my comfort zone. I'd learned something new. I really wanted to progress with it, and I had zero money. And I prayed and I asked for help, and I said, look, I have a really big problem here, really big problem. I have 2 kids, and I'm borderline if I'm able to feed them or not. And within a week, a job was laid on my lap, and it was a work from home opportunity. I was working for a massive company, but I was doing it from my house. So my mom really helped me with minding the kids and stuff like that. My family helped me with minding the kids and made it really, really accessible for me to work. And a week later, I had a wage, and it was amazing turnaround. But I wasn't doing the job that I loved, but it was something I needed to do at that time to get myself into a better situation. So from that, then I continued learning. I went and I met, different mediums, different teachers, spiritual teachers. I got invited to so many things, and even if there was weeks where the money wasn't there for them, they were somehow made accessible for me. It was absolutely fascinating how life just started swinging in my favor. I became really positive. I loved my card reading so much. I kept up the card readings. I never felt really confident to do it on a bigger scale. And I went and learned how to do card readings with Doreen Virtue. And, kind of from that, I just thought, I want to be doing this every day. I want to be doing it all the time. I want to be spreading the angels' message and love to everybody. And I'm not achieving that here. So I got the idea to start the business. Now, at that time, my job had ended. I was back on social welfare. That's all good. It's there for when you need it, and I needed it. And I couldn't afford to start a business. I was put in a position that, wasn't accessible for me to do this. But they had a scheme, and the scheme was the Start Your Own Enterprise scheme. And I looked into it and I thought, you know what, I could do this. I went and did the course for it. I learned what I needed to know, and I applied, and I was turned down. And I was turned down, and I really thought, this is it. Like, it's not going to happen. My business is too diverse. It's too strange. It's too different. They're never, ever in a million years going to allow me to open a business like this. They want people who are manufacturing or engineering or doing, normal stuff. And I'm not normal. My business certainly was not normal. And they invited me in to come and have a chat with them about my business plan. And I went in and I met the loveliest ladies. And strangely enough, I pulled a card that morning, and it was called The World. And if you're familiar with it, it's in tarot decks, it's in angel tarot decks and stuff. And that card, basically tells you that everything is about to line up in your favor, and everything is about to start going in your direction, and good things are coming, and it's all going to be good, thick, fast change. And I felt so excited when I seen it, because I knew that this was the turning point. And I went in and I met this lovely lady, and we chatted about my business. And she said to me, one thing that's not clear in your plan is what you want to do. And I basically told her, I want to help people. I want to spread information about angels. I want to talk about crystals. I want to talk about spirituality as a whole. I want to be a person that people can approach to ask any questions they may have, to get to know me, to, understanding where I'm coming from, and, and seeing what I can do for them. And she loved it, absolutely loved it. She had an interest in crystals herself. She asked me about a few. We chatted about that. She said to me at the end of it, I know you know your stuff. And she said, and I'm pretty pleased with what you've answered me today, and you'll get a letter out. And I kind of walked out and I went, oh my God, does that mean, like, you're not going to get it? I'm not going to tell you to face, you're going to get this letter. And I was really, really nervous about it, really, really nervous. And, again, I kept in mind that that card came up, and I knew that it was a good card, and I knew that it was really positive for where I was at in my journey. And I kept that in mind. And, a week, no, not even a week, it was a bit longer than that. I got a letter at the beginning of December saying, you can go ahead and start your business, right? But it wasn't clear when, and I didn't want to mess it up. So kind of waited a little bit, and I rang them, and I was like, can I start my business? And they were like, yeah, you can start today. So I started my business on December 17th, and that was in 2015. And I have been uh, here ever since, really. I created a Facebook page straight away. I was excited. It was very small scale. I mean, I'm sure I probably had about 200 people on the page for so, so long. Um, the opportunity came up to go into the market. I took it. I went for it. I was there for 2 years up until 2 weeks ago. Um, what else have I've done so much stuff. I deliver courses in person about spirituality, reading angel cards, whatever it may be. Um, I have those courses online, or some of those courses online also. I've moved all my crystals and stuff onto the online shop. I'm accessible to you wherever in the world you are. Um, and I do card reveals here on the page, and I have a bit of fun with it. And, I deliver the messages exactly as I get them. And I sometimes can be a little bit blunt and to the point, but I am at the end of it always understanding, and always empathic, and always knowing that we all go through some really tough times, and we all go through some really horrible and icky stuff in our life, and it's not nice. And there are ways to deal with it that are very positive and proactive ways. Um, my business may not be a normal business, and I might not seem like a normal everyday person to you, but I can guarantee you I am. I go through the same stuff you do. I've gone through some really bad stuff. I've gone through some really good stuff. I have a wonderful, loving, supporting family. I have a circle of friends who are so beautiful and so kind, and, really, really supportive of me. I'm in a really, really good place in my life. I'm 5 years free of anxiety and depression now. I am just completely on a different path in my life, and that is all thanks to spirituality, to the angels, to meditation, to my parents for supporting me and loving me. And that is what I want to convey to you guys on this page, that I believe in everyone. I believe that there's good in everyone, and I believe that there's potential in everybody. And I believe that it's up to us to, bring that forth, to share that message with the world, and to do some amazing stuff and make a difference. So that's it. That's me. That's who I am. That's my backstory. That's how I came to be. Um, and yeah, the last thing I want to say to you guys is I love being here with you. I love being here with each and every one of you. No question is ever too big or too small. Everything is welcome. Diverse opinions, whatever it may be, all welcome. I love feedback. I love hearing from you. I love knowing that things have made sense for you, that you are in a better place, that things are working out really well for you. And if I can share the angels' love and support for you, if I can share, how to use crystals or whatever it may be, if I can just be a little bit of a positive light on your path, then that's really good for me. So thank you for listening in. Thank you for being part of my story and being part of my journey. And thank you for being here on my page and for supporting the work that I do. And if there's anything you ever want to ask, or something you want to come and do with me or learn from me, I would love to have you there, and I'd love to get to know you and to be able to help you with whatever you need help with. So that's it. Take care, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.